We're joined today by Rainbow Baxby. She is a Spanish teacher with Virtual Arkansas, and today Rainbow's going to be talking to us about Standard and Indicator 2C with TESS, managing classroom procedures. Thank you so much for Rainbow for joining us today and sharing a little bit of expertise as an online teacher when it comes to managing classroom procedures.
That I do and my team does is we collaborate, and we collaborate on what procedures we need to have in order to save time and manage students. And we also want students to know what to do in certain situations so that they don't have to wonder or ask, what do I do now? So another thing that we do to manage classroom procedures is we communicate well with each other and also with other students, facilitators, parents, any stakeholders. We roll out certain procedures so that everyone understands what to do. And we're consistent. Everyone's the same across the board when it comes to having procedures.
That sounds like that makes for a very safe learning environment for students because they know what to expect. There's that clarity that's been about how it's supposed to happen, the expectations with that. So they know exactly where they stand and there's no confusion as to what's expected of them as a student. And then that also helps you guys to focus on the learning aspect because all of the procedures are in place. Is that correct?
Yeah. Routines and procedures are essential in online learning because our time with our students is valuable. And in order to provide a quality, effective online experience, we have to be very intentional in our planning and implementation of our activities and learning experiences we provide for our students. Every second counts and every word matters. So we collaborate a lot in order to come up with the norms for our students, such as having naming conventions. We have Zoom norms and procedures. We also have testing procedures. We have a common exit ticket for our Zoom sessions. Students know what to do when asking for feedback because there's a procedure for that. And then also, when a student is absent from a synchronous learning experience, they know where to go to make up that session.
That sounds like a great environment for students to be able to progress and learn, both in synchronous and asynchronous learning, and they know exactly what's expected of them, where to go to get information, and then it sounds like you've got a great team of support that students, they have a teacher of record, but they could go to any Spanish teacher and get the support that they need in Virtual Arkansas, and so it sounds like, a village basically. It takes a village to help these kids out, and it sounds like you guys have really figured that out.
The most important things that I think we do is if we're introducing a new procedure, or even if it's an old procedure that we're ready to revisit with new students, we give them the reasoning behind why do we have that procedure so they can understand why we're doing what we're doing. Also, we use repetition. Our Zoom sessions all start the same way and they all end the same way. While we try to have new learning experiences with the content, we have a regular routine that students know how to act when they come in and when they leave. So also, we have great facilitator support. So our facilitators that are actually in the room with the students, they also help us keep and manage those routines. Finally, we collaborate. You can't get anything done without collaborating.
And I think that's a very strong piece of the World Languages professional learning community, is how much you guys collaborate. And I think it really speaks to how well your students do. Because of our Spanish program and our World Language program, you guys have had a lot of students that have gone on past Spanish 1 and 2 to take those higher level Spanish courses, because you guys have created an environment that has really consistent routines and procedures so that they can focus on the learning, and they know exactly who they are as learners in your course, and they have that comfort in knowing that even though I have new learning that may make me uncomfortable, I don't have to worry about the context changing while I'm learning new content.
Mm-hmm. That all teachers should try to take advantage of their learning management system. We use Canvas at Virtual Arkansas, and there's many things we can do to be effective and efficient with time. We can check pacing and late work. We can check time logged by students in lessons, assignments, and assessments. We can track Zoom participation. We've created a spreadsheet for that. And then also we can check if they've even checked their emails. So if you know your LMS real good, that can save you a lot of time.
So it sounds like an investment of time on the front end with certain tools and technology from a management piece will actually help support your student learners and your own time management on the other end of things. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you, Rainbow, sharing with us today about the standard and indicator 2C, managing classroom procedures. And one of the things that really stood out to me is how important it is to make sure that teachers in an online environment have a support system, that they have a professional learning community, that they can work with and help build those online classroom procedures that are so important for students to have in order to have context that remains the same while they are learning new content. So thank you so much for sharing with us today, and appreciate everything that you've done. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we end this session?
I just want to say thank you for having me, and don't forget that collaboration is really essential in online learning.
100% agree. Thank you so much. Have a great day. In this particular recording that we did, we focused with Miss Bagsby on the area of indicator and standard 2C, managed classroom procedures. One of the things that was really evident in this situation, and that you can notice that it's a distinguished area, is that she has an emphasis on team collaboration, and they work together in order to model what they need in regards to managing classroom behavior and procedures. And they work together in order to provide the best classroom procedures and routines for students. In addition to that, they really are purposeful and intentional in how they manage transitions, making sure there's consistency across the board, and that their context format is in such a way that students always know what to expect as they come into a virtual learning environment, whether it be in their course or their live Zoom sessions, and coming out of those live Zoom sessions. And so when new information is being presented within that context or that frame of consistency, then they're prepared for that new learning, because there aren't changes in other ways that they have to adapt. They only have to adapt for the learning. The other part that's important is that they've been very clear with the students in regards to materials and supplies. They communicate with the students the how things will be conducted in the course, the what the students need to come to the course prepared to do, and why they do this in such a way so that students can get the best experience for learning. It's also important to note that she mentioned the support personnel that ensure that students never are without a live person for support. In this situation, she mentioned facilitators, but this could also mean parents or another adult that could be facilitating or supporting that, and that communication and that behind the scenes connection that the online teacher has to those adult supports for those students is essential as well, in order for teachers to present themselves as online teachers in both a proficient or distinguished way. And so that is how we emphasize the indicator 2C, managing classroom procedures in such a way that we know will highly benefit student learners.